So specifically what is in that application component. So you need your biographical information. This is very boilerplate, like just your name, address, things like that. Also academics, essays, and activities. So academics, like for example, grades, essays. I'll talk a bit about the essay later in this session, but MIT does have, it's not just Common App, it does have specific essays that you need to write. Activities, I believe they have you list 10 of your top activities. So this is where you would prioritize quality over quantity. And pick ones that you have spent a lot of time in and that you can show that you're passionate about. They don't have to be STEM related. They don't have to be related to the major that you're applying to. They can be some things that are more random. I'll talk a bit more about mine later in this presentation. Also need to submit your letters of recommendation. Again, one should be from a STEM teacher, one should be from a non-STEM teacher. Ideally, both should be from teachers that have taught you advanced subjects, and you should be asking your teacher to write you this letter of recommendation at least, I would say, a month and a half before the deadline, just so you have time for them to say if they're going to write it for you, and then you can follow up. Also, tests and scores. So this, like Akash mentioned, MIT is bringing back the SAT this cycle. So SAT scores, things like that, AP scores. Also the interview, if you get one. I'll be talking about the interview more later, but essentially interviews are conducted by alumni who oftentimes are in your area. If you don't get an interview, that doesn't mean that you're not getting in. If you do get an interview, that does not mean your chances of getting in are greater. It's just kind of a screening process that MIT does offer to prospective students if they have the availability. I will say that when you do the interview, you should use it as an opportunity to learn more about MIT, not just think about it as a way for MIT to learn more about you. And finally, the creative portfolio. This is completely optional. I did do one for MIT. We'll be talking about this a bit later, but essentially a creative portfolio is if you have, let's say, music talent that you want to showcase that can't be expressed fully in an essay, or if you have architecture design or research or singing or dance or things like that, you can submit this specifically through this creative portfolio.